Hello everyone and welcome to Saturday. I have something that I want to talk about that I found that I thought was really cool, but before I do, I wanted to show what Mal created this evening. I would say that I helped, but I cut celery. That's all I
Yeah,
really
you chopped the celery.
I know, but that's otherwise you were taking care of it. I've been very, very busy with Fallout, so Mal took care of most of dinner while I've just been working on that. But she made sausage and lentil soup, and it's very good. Sausage and lentil soup is not something I get very often. They have it at Carrabba's, and occasionally I'll get the soup at Carrabba's when we're there, but otherwise I don't really have it. It was good. Did you make this from a recipe? Or did you just kind of...
No, I made it from a recipe,
Okay.
but there was a lot of changes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll include the recipe for those who are interested. I like sausage and lentil. It's very good. All right. Okay, let me finish the soup since there's still a little in here, and then I'll show you what it is my mom recently found. And what she found was my 1999 Christmas list. In 1999, for Christmas, I would have been 10 years old. Would have been turning 11 in March, so almost 11, but 10-year-old Steven. And you might be wondering, what did 10-year-old Steven ask for Christmas? Well, let me tell you. Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko for the Nintendo 64. And also, one of the things that's interesting about this Christmas list, and all the Christmas lists I ever made, I would always write what it was I wanted, but then I would also write how much it was, and if it was a video game, what system it was for, where it could be bought, etc. And I would actually look at the Sunday sale papers and try and find, which store had it cheapest, like if there was a sale or something. And then I would write, you should get it at Kmart or Target, blah, 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 because it's only this much and you save this much. And I did that when I was 10, too. So in addition to Gex 3, Rampage 2 Universal Tour, which is a wonderful N64 game where you are monsters and you eat people. Pokemon Stadium. I don't know if that was the year it came out or not. No, it must have been, because it says Pokemon Stadium, not available in stores yet, but KB Toys will have it first. I don't know if I just wrote that or if that was a true thing. Donkey Kong 64 will be available at Walmart this month. So the big games that I really wanted was Gex 3, Rampage 2, Pokemon Stadium, and Donkey Kong 64. I also asked for some Game Boy games, the first of which was Revelations: The Demon Slayer. And that is a bit of an obscure title, but when I was a kid, I was super into RPGs. I loved them. And I read Nintendo Power pretty religiously, and I remember them talking about this game, and I wanted to get it. And actually, whenever I got this list the other day, I was looking at the stuff on it, and it made me do a Wikipedia search of Revelations: The Demon Slayer, and I found out it's actually a part of the Megami Tensei series. It was just, it had its name changed when it was localized, but it's actually part of the Megami Tensei series. So that's the first game in that series I ever played, and I played it when I was 10. Also, Deja Vu 1 and 2, which is a Game Boy Color port of, I think it originated on the computer. Fantastic little point-and-click adventure game with a kind of a noir theme. Highly recommended. And actually, of all of the versions, I think the Game Boy Color version is probably one of the most fun. Me and Mal did a first 20 of it like a million years ago, if you're interested in looking that up. Also, Pokemon Pinball, and I wrote next to it, needs two AAA batteries, although I think it only takes one AAA battery, but I don't remember. And then also Pokemon Yellow. And I think Pokemon Yellow was already out at that point, so I think maybe I bought Red and Blue. I bought Red and Blue the day they came out. Maybe I just waited a while for Yellow. And then I also wrote laser guns, because I had bought, or had been given as a gift, these laser guns. It was a set of two. You had like a chest thing and a gun. So 2 guns and 2 chest things. So two people could play. And whenever you shot within this, the range of like 100 feet, the chest thing would go off to let you know that you'd been hit. Anyway, for this year, on 1999, I asked for the Ultra Wide Blaster and the Firestorm. And the Ultra Wide Blaster was kind of like a shotgun blast, because it would shoot pretty wide, and then the Firestorm was like I think it was a bazooka. It's been a while, and also I don't remember actually playing with them too much. But there was a period of time where I was really into laser tag. I also wanted the Nerf gun Wildfire, which was a kind of a smaller gun, but it held 20 of these mini darts, and it fired them super fast. You just held the trigger and it was like, brrr, fired them all. And then the last thing I wrote was Pokemon cards, in all caps. Base set and first edition fossils. And it says you can get base set at Sears and first edition fossils are only available at Toys R Us. I got mine at noon on Sunday morning. And the only thing I can figure out what that means is back in the day, and this would have been whenever Pokemon cards started because it's base set and fossil. Back in the day, I played in the Pokemon Trading Card League, and it was at our local Toys R Us. And I don't remember what day it was. Maybe it was Sunday mornings, but I would go and I would play. And you earned points and experience, and you earned badges, just like in the show. Super, super cool. And I absolutely can see why I love Magic the Gathering so much. And it's because I have a firm root in collectible card games with Pokemon from when I was, 9 or 10 years old. I also wrote Pokemon Clothes, Hats, Anything. So 1990 was the year of Pokemon. That was... It's just funny looking at this now. It's, so long ago, almost 20 years ago. But, a lot of my tastes haven't changed. I was very into video games, and I'm still very into video games. I still like Pokemon. I don't play it as religiously as I did when I was 10, but I still like the game, and obviously they've changed quite a bit since then. Yeah, it's just wild. Oh, and there's one final thing on here that I wrote in pen with that I wrote by hand, and it says Vert Ramp and Trick Loop Tower, and I think that was for Tech Decks. If you don't know what a Tech Deck is, it's a finger skateboard, which is such a weird thing to say in the first place, but it was a little tiny skateboard that you played with, with your fingers, and they had skate park parts that came out for it, and I had the Vert Ramp and the Trick Loop Tower, and I also had all these other things, and it was one of the things I really enjoyed doing. I really enjoyed playing with those finger skateboards. Shortly after the finger skateboard phase, I was actually into real skateboarding, and that didn't last as long as the fingerboarding thing, just because you could actually get hurt on a skateboard. Fingerboarding, less so. Anyway, that's it for today. I know that it's kind of a longer vlog where I'm just talking about one particular thing, but I thought this was fascinating, and my mom told me if she finds anything else like this that she'd let me know, and I said please do, because I find things like this so interesting. A little peek into what was on my mind and the things that I was genuinely interested in when I was 10, and that was a long time ago. It's just interesting that not a whole lot has changed. Ever since I was young, my Christmas lists were dominated by video games, and now that I'm older, I have an entire room that's nothing but video games. One of my primary jobs is playing video games, so everything in my life has kind of always revolved around video games a little, and now maybe it just revolves around video games a lot. But that's fine. That's fine. I've been fine with it since I was a kid, and I'm still fine with it now. If you have found anything, like this, any old Christmas lists, anything of the sort, please share. I think that this sort of thing is fascinating, and I would love to hear your personal experiences finding these old relics like that. Also, don't ever throw that sort of stuff away, because it's so interesting. It's the kind of stuff that you could share with your kids someday, and they may not understand why there were finger skateboards, but you could tell them it was fun. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?